Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Michelle, and you see Miss Mandy there, and you see some of our guests on, and we're so excited. And we are going to share with you how you can absolutely explode your sales for your direct business that you love. I currently have a direct sales business. Mandy has a direct sales business, and we'll get into a little bit more about us in a second. But here's what I'm just going to tell you, because I want you to stay. If you're like, who are these women? Like, we are the top in our company, like top sales, top recruiters, top team. Like, we are currently living and doing what you are doing right now, or we're currently living and doing what you want to be doing right now. So as we get started, we just want to ask you some questions to make sure you're in the right place, and make sure, like, these are kind of some of the feelings. So I'm going to ask you this, like, have you ever wondered with your direct sales business, like, why aren't things working like you see them working for other people? Like, have you ever wondered that? And if the answer is yes, you're in the right place right now.
I definitely used to wonder that. Another thing that I didn't understand was, how do I share on social media and have that sharing produce income for me and my family?
Yeah, I remember in the beginning, I wasted a lot of time, which is my next question. How do you find the time? Like, are you feeling like you're always playing catch up? Or are you feeling ahead of the game? We want you to be ahead of the game, not catch up.
And even when I had time to post, I always struggled with, what should I be posting that will actually get interaction? And if you guys have struggled with that, just tell us in the chat roll too. Any of these things, say, yep, that's me.
Absolutely. And if we're thinking about, like, what should I post? Do I have time? Then the questions, like, do we post daily? Do we post weekly? Do we post a couple times a day? Like, there's a math and a science to posting that's going to help you be seen. So, like, we have the answers to all these things that we're asking you, but we really just want you going, yep, that's what I want to know. Yep, that's what I want to know.
And I'm also curious, have any of you ever wondered, why is no one commenting on my posts?
That's probably one of the comments we get the most, Mandy, when we do one-on-one coaching, because along with doing
Mhm.
what you're seeing us doing now, this Zoom, this complimentary free training, we also do one-on-one coaching, and that comes up all the time. And it's really like, you're probably wondering, are people even seeing your content? And, there's a couple of things you got to be doing so people are actually seeing it.
Absolutely. And part of that is also, where are you posting? Are you posting on a personal profile? Are you posting on a business page? Are you posting in a group? Where are you putting all of your posts? That makes a big difference. And lots of people don't realize that.
Absolutely. And if we bundle all this stuff up that we just asked you, and we think, like, how do I grow faster? How do I grow bigger? How do I get more engaged? How do I, get people to follow me? How do I get people then to start joining my team, or shopping from me, or, becoming a host? Then you're in the right place. Like, we're going to answer as many of these things as we can in our short chunk of time that we have with you. But then we're going to tell you where you can continue getting this information from us for like pennies a day. Mandy, I was thinking about us doing this event today, and one of the things that really hit me is, like everyone, I watch Zooms and trainings, and I'm always trying to educate myself, and I'm always, trying to become better. And a lot of times at the end, there's this big, huge, ridiculous costing package. That is not what we're doing. That is not what Mandy and I are about. We, like, Mandy, why don't you take a second and tell them who you are and what you're about?
I would love to. So, I am a busy mom of two teenage boys. I live in McMinnville, Oregon, and I've been in direct sales for about 15 years. When I got started, I was really looking for a way to spend time with my boys more, simply because I was tired of getting them up in the morning, taking them to daycare, and then putting them to bed. I worked a job I loved, but it wasn't bringing me the income that I wanted, and it was taking too much time from my family. That's what really drove me to be in direct sales. Now, I have never been a person that really thrives on walking the stage, getting the biggest awards, any of that. I'm challenged by my personal growth. My intention with direct sales and my intention with coaching now and helping all of you is to create the life that I want, the life that revolves around my family instead of a life that revolves around work. And in the process of doing that, I found that first, I went through in the first 6 years with my company, I went through 5 different direct uplines because they quit. They basically quit or they just didn't want to do it anymore. So I got a new upline. What that meant for me, inconsistent leadership, inconsistent information, inconsistent training. And it led me to look outside of my company, outside of my team for guidance. What I found was I got a lot of bad advice. I got a lot of bad information and I spent way too much money on that. And I was tired of that. And that's really what drove me to help other direct sellers in similar situations to mine. I want to help women create the life that they desire without breaking the bank and making it simple. That's what I'm about. What about you, Michelle? Tell us about you.
Mandy, that was so awesome. Like, oh my God, I'm just listening to you and it's giving me chills because everything you said is, 100% spot on. I mean, we communicate weekly, almost daily. And I mean, you just nailed it. Here's something when I was listening to you, I don't remember. How old were you when you had your first fabulous child?
I would have been like 27.
Okay, because I'll tell you, I'm a lot older than Mandy. So I kind of went the other route where I put my career first. I worked in a corporate job. I worked so many hours. I worked in retail. I worked holidays. I worked weekends. I worked evenings. I worked when everyone else was having fun. And I remember like laying in bed at night going, like, this was before direct sales. I just remember laying in bed going, this can't be my life. Like, there's got to be more to it. And when I was starting to have those feelings and I was tired of the corporate burnout, someone invited me to something. Now, back then, we didn't have this platform. So someone invited me to something where I sat in a hotel room. And I remember it changed my life. Like, I did not know of direct sales. And I share that with you because I have 3 little children, but I was much older. So Mandy was in her 20s. I adopted 3 little kids at the age of 45. So, I sometimes think I did things backwards where I was this crazy workaholic. I did not know direct sales existed out there. Someone shared with me, and over time, it took me about 18 months to replace a 6-figure income because my corporate job was a 6-figure income. And just as Mandy said, like, I now am living the life that I designed, the life of my dreams. My direct sales income completely provides for me and my family. My husband and I decided last year, we made a plan. We designed our life, as Mandy said, and we made a plan that we're actually spending the summer outside the US. I'm in the country of Ecuador right now. So we're so thankful for you to be here. And just remember that sentence, like, your direct sales business, when it's done right, when you have the correct information from people that are being successful right now, you can design your own life. And the beauty of the partnership with Mandy and I is we're so different. Like, she is so right. Like, she was #1 recruiter in her company, I think like 2 months ago. Like, she wants no recognition, right? Like, she's like, okay, great. Yeah, I do it for me. I do it to help people. Where on the other side, I'm loud, I'm crazy, I'm obnoxious, like I want to run across stage. So, if you're more reserved and beautiful like Mandy, or if you're crazy and loud like me, like, we have the answers for you. Sometimes when you are getting information, you're like, but I don't really know if I like that person. Hopefully you're going to like one of us, like one of us is going to gel with you. So that's literally, a little about us. Like, I got tired of that corporate crazy lifestyle, and direct sales changed that. Mandy got tired of the thought of someone else isn't raising my babies, right? And she figured out a plan and changed that. So Mandy, why don't you tell them what we have in store for them?
Oh, I would love to. So today, what we're going to do for you today is we are going to share with you a system to grow your business online. And curious, did you guys know that it's really just a 3-step process to growing a business online? And I'm going to encourage all of you as you're listening, as you're watching today, and maybe you heard my story or Michelle's and you thought, that's fabulous, but that won't work for me. I want you to know that if one person can do it, you can do it as well. And that's why we're here sharing this 3-step system or, yeah, 3-step process for you. First, you have to learn how to build your Facebook personal profile to over 1,000 followers. And not just followers, followers that are engaged, commenting, and sharing your posts. And these are people that are going to watch your Facebook Lives, that are going to connect with you, that want to be part of your life and want to be your friend. And I know some of you might be thinking, that's a lot. I only have 50 friends. I only have 200 friends. I can't do that. Hundreds of our members have done this, and you can do it too. Cancel out that gremlin in your head telling you can't do it, because we're here to tell you how to do it. The second step, learn how to build a Facebook community group with over 500 members who also love your content, are engaged in all of your offers and posts, and show up in your online community every single day. We have a blueprint, a system just for you on this. And some of you, if you're watching and wondering, what is a Facebook community group? Some of you may have heard these called VIP groups before. Stick around because we're going to tell you the difference between the two. The third step, learn how to design a virtual party or event format with multiple co-hostesses that results in high dollar events. Again, we have a step-by-step guide for this as well. That works, that's duplicatable, that you can share with your brand new team members today and they can do it tomorrow.
Mandy, I'm so excited. I was just typing in the chat box over there. I got excited. I'm so excited. I'm going to jump into our bullet point number 1, but first I just want to say, great job saying yes. Great job being here. I don't know how you feel, but I feel there's so much spammy marketing on social media, and it's hard to know what is good. I'm just so happy that you're here, and that way to say yes, way to show up. If you're watching the replay, we're just thrilled that you are checking this out, because we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that we have answers for you. Mandy, when we were kind of giving our little intros and talking about ourselves, one of the things neither you or I said, that dang it, we always do share, is we are both ridiculous, amazing, face to face, home parties. We've been in the industry over 10 years, I'm almost 20 years. So, we started off that way, that everyone had to build before, home events, one-on-one events. So we had to make that transition into what we're doing now. So I just want to share that in case someone's I don't know, it feels different. It feels, uncomfortable. So if you've been around a while like us, and that's really the way you did it in the past with face-to-face stuff, I'm going to tell you, you can make the transition. Or let's say you're only been in the industry a couple weeks, or maybe a couple of years, and that's not how you so-called grew up. You're just at the right place. We know both worlds inside and out, and that's really why we partnered. Mandy is such an expert on online communities, where one of, I'd say I'm a serious expert, is on online events. So you're going to get everything from both of us. So I just wanted to say I'm proud of you for saying yes to your business, yes to your future, and yes to your dreams. And we just want you just to trust, literally, turn the TV off, just push the noise aside and just trust in the process. Because if this is the only time we connect, like we have a private community that we want you to move into when we're done, so you can see us weekly. That's really our hope. But if this is the only time we connect, we promise you, you're going to walk away with nuggets. Our guests always say like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this. Like, you are going to walk away with information today, right now, when we're done. Okay. We want to be your social media mentors. We want to be the people that you don't have to waste time. We want to be the people that you move into our online community. And if you have a question, you don't spend an hour trying to figure something out. You just put it in the community and we help you and the community helps you. I mean, everything else in life, you have a specialist. Like, it's so funny and silly, but I told you, I'm in Ecuador for the summer. And I'm older, I'm 53, so I got to get these roots covered up often. And I was thinking, I don't have a hair specialist here, right? Like, I got to go find a hair specialist, right? Every area of life, you have a specialist. Let us be your social media specialist. Okay, so let's jump into topic number 1 that Mandy was talking about: how to build your personal page to thousands, right? The first goal is 1,000. Now, some of you are like, oh, that's so big. We got you. Like, we're going to help you. Let's say you're already there, like 1,000 or 2,000. Well, you need to go to the next hurdle. That's a 5,000, right? Like, we start with 1,000. Some of you, that's big and scary. I know it. But some of you are like, well, I'm already past that. Well, then let's get you to the 5,000 mark. Those are kind of our 2 benchmarks that we want to get you to. Okay. So your goal, your whole goal on social media, whichever platform you're on. Now, the rules are pretty general across platforms. Like, we are doing this on Facebook, so we're going to talk about Facebook, but I'm going to tell you, whichever platform you're on, things are very similar that are going to carry across. We would highly recommend choosing 1 or 2 platforms and mastering it and owning it and just being great at it, because you're not going to be great at all of them. Like, you're just not. And if someone is telling you that, they are wrong. Like, you cannot be great at all of them. You're not like the Kardashians. You don't have a social media crew following you around. So choose 1 or 2 and become amazing at it. And if you want to add in others, great. Sometimes, because there are so many other platforms popping up, people will say, well, is Facebook dead? Like, really, what's going with Facebook? Nope, still number 1. Women 30 and above, still number 1. So, don't let all that clutter fill your mind. But again, just choose a platform and own it and love it. Now, your goal on that platform is this is your goal on any social media platform. I told you there's a huge storm and winds just went through the house and you heard a door slam. So sorry about that. Your goal is to create more friends and real conversations. That's your goal. Your goal is not to get on there and go, I'm going to get a sale. Your goal is not to get on there and go, I'm going to find a person. No, your goal is to create more friends and real conversations that generate customers, that generate team members, that generate people to show up to events. So your goal is to create more friends and real conversations. That's your goal. And then everything else will work behind it. That is your goal. Now, what excites me so much, and like I am so excited, is everyone can do this. You might not realize that. I didn't realize that. Like I told you, Mandy and I have been around a while, and we started in living rooms, and I didn't think everyone could be great. Like you might have that 1 or 2 influencers you follow and you're like, oh, I could never be like that. And I'm going to say, awesome, because you don't want to be like that. You want to be you. The way this works is to be you. When you're you start to connect with people. And I didn't get that. Like, I was so nervous and uncomfortable and it felt silly. And I'm like, well, who's going to want to connect with me? Here's what I want to tell you. Every minute, millions of people are Googling and searching things. Anything you like and do, millions of people like to do. I love to travel. Right? So I share a lot about traveling. I have little kids. I share a lot about my little kids. Let's say you're someone that doesn't like to travel. Let's say you're someone that doesn't like kids. You're probably not going to be one of my biggest fans, but that's okay, because there's millions of people that like to travel and there's millions millions of people that have kids. So you want to realize, like right now, like you can do this. The cool thing about this is you can do this in like 15-minute chunks of time. I didn't share my kids' ages, but I said how old I was. So I feel I always have to add this in. I'm 53 and I have 3 little kids. They're now 6, 6, and 8. So clearly they're adopted, right? I'm not going to be this old and have these little kids. So they're all adopted. I'm extremely busy and I build a thriving business in chunks of time, 15, 30-minute chunks of time. When you have your business time scheduled and you sit down to do the things we're going to share with you that you need to do, like Mandy's really going to get into some steps of what you need to do. When you sit down to do that and you do those things, it's 15, 30-minute chunks of time, because all of us do this. We scroll, we grab our phones, right? We sit there, we scroll, we're scrolling. That's not building your business. It's just like watching TV. That's the way you got to think of it. Like, do not think you're building your business when you're just scrolling. Have business times and say, like, this time I'm going to go do these business things. Now, it's interesting. I don't know if it was last year, I'd say recently, maybe a year or two, like people scrolling on social media took over people watching TV years ago. Like we always used to talk about how much time people spend watching TV. Well, it's scrolling. Scrolling time is not business time. Schedule 15, 30-minute chunks of time to do your business with what we're going to share. Okay. Last little goal, and then we're, getting into more nuggets. Your goal is to have people know you. They start to like you. They start to trust you, and they do business with you. That's it. If you've ever wondered, like maybe if you post some post that you see someone else in your company post and you don't get any interaction, and then there's someone else out there that posts it and they get a ton of interaction, it's because they're doing these steps. They're doing these steps before they do a kind of business post. So your goal is to create more friends and real conversations. And in doing that, people will start to know you, like you, and trust you, and then they'll do business with you. Okay. So our first bullet point is this: how to build your personal Facebook page, how to grow it. Okay. Under this topic, your personal Facebook page, my first bullet is I want to talk about your profile. And Mandy's actually going to put up a slide about a profile. Now, we know a lot of people watch on the phone, so it's going to be tiny. It's better to see this on like a laptop or an iPad, but your profile needs to be planned. Like when we're done, we're going to share with you how you can get a free social media audit from Mandy or I, where we literally will go to your profile and tell you 10 things to change instantly that's going to make a difference. Now, even if you're on a tiny phone, you can see like one of these looks boring, like one of them looks more inviting and fun. You want the more inviting and fun. You want your face. You do not want your company. You do not want a dog. You do not want something you support. You want your face. It's social media. You're social, or this is Facebook. It's your face. When you do like all of these little tiny things, they add up and they make a big difference. So you want your face. Now, we work with mostly women. We have a handful of men, but we work with mostly women, and I get it. None of us like our own picture. Just put up a picture. Your favorite you have. You actually want your face up there. I'm friend requested all the time. And when it's a company, when it's a dog, when it's something someone believes, I just don't even want to go down that path, because I want to connect with real people. Your face shows that you're a real person. Then you see your banner. You want to have a banner. And there's really 2 rules of thumb for your banner. Your banner can be like a profile of pictures. Like you can have several kind of like lifestyle pictures. I do that sometimes, of like different events in your life, because it's kind of showing who you are. Or you can have, something positive. Like one of the things I truly believe is surround yourself with people that lift you higher. Like that's a core belief in my life. If you're a negative Nelly, I can only do you in small chunks of time. And trust me, we all have negative Nelly friends. We all have negative Nelly, relatives. I can do you in small chunks of time. But I want to surround myself with people that lift me higher. That tells the world something about me. You want to make sure on your profile that it's set to public. as you can see, because if you're looking at these two different ones, you see some of my posts where the one that's not set to public on the right, you just don't see anything. Like you wonder if it's a real person. Like you literally wonder. Sometimes when I have a little extra time in life and someone friend requests me and it looks like that private profile, I literally will like message you back and go, are you a real human? Like, come on, like you want to show who you are and you want to be a real human. So on growing your personal profile, your personal Facebook page, bullet point number one is your profile has to be planned. You have to sit back, you have to look at, and you have to plan it out. You want to have like a description about you, not about your company. Because I'm just here to tell you, your company is not the catch. You are the catch. You are the catch. And and I have a friend that's a vice president at this company. So like, I don't feel bad. Like I'm not picking on it. I'm just going to use an example. Let's say you sell Tupperware. Well, thousands and thousands and thousands of people sell Tupperware. No one is going to go, oh, that's the person selling Tupperware I want. But what they're going to do is they're going to go, okay, I like that. Like one thing about Mandy that I love, and I ask her questions all the time, like they're a horse family. Like they adopt horses, they train horses, they do a lot of things about horses. So on Mandy's profile, you'll see that. So if I'm a horse person, like, and I look, I'm like, oh, I like that. She's a horse person. Like your profile is just saying who you are in life and what you're doing. It's not your company. Now, a little secret, if no one's telling you this, and I'm sorry, I have some beeps going off. I thought I shut those beeps going off, but they're going off, is the more you have on your personal profile about your business, the less you're seen. The social media algorithms don't like it. Like they actually don't like it. So the less that you're just throwing up on your personal profile, the name of your company, the better you are. And I know that sounds so weird. Like we'll get into it more. It's about connecting with like-minded people. As I will say, till the end of time, that was hard for me to understand in the beginning until someone said, just think about it, Michelle. Every second of the day, millions of people are Googling something. Anything you like, millions of people like. Okay, now on your personal profile, and Mandy, you can take this graphic off now. On your personal profile, you want to post daily, once or twice a day. Let's say you're doing weekly, start doing once a day. Okay, you want to post daily. It doesn't mean 5 times a day, 10 times a day. Start off once a day, maybe a couple times a day is a good place to be. You want to post daily. When you're posting, you want graphics, you want photos, you want images. You want to post with a question. You want to ask a question when you're posting. It's so amazing to me how simple this is, but how few people do it. When like here's an example, like let's say I'm reading a great book. I could hold up a book and go, reading a great book, loving this book, enjoying whatever, and say something sweet about the book. But you're 10 times better to go, oh my gosh, I'm reading this great book. Have you ever read it before? What's a great book you're reading? Think of it as like an attention stopper, like it stops the scroll. When someone's going through the scroll and they just see blah, 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 but then your post says, are you reading a great book right now? Or my post says, where's somewhere you traveled, that you enjoyed? It stops the scroll. It's called a pattern interrupt. So just include a question. So our profile has to be planned. We want to post daily with a graphic and a question. If you're not asking a question, you're really just shouting. You're just like shouting like everyone else, like you're just scrolling through newsfeed. I can scroll through 100 news feeds and maybe see 2 questions out there. Like it's so easy, but I don't know why people aren't doing it. So be the one that's doing it, and you're really gonna stand out. There is some logic to posts that work and posts that don't work. And we have already said that we have a private community that we have over 600 posts in it. Like that people can just take and use. I don't want to say steal. They can take them and use them, because one of the things that happens is when you get a little more excited and you get a little bit more focused and you're like, okay, I'm going to start doing this. Like I'm going to start doing this. Then you sit down and you're like, what do I post? And then you spend way too much time overthinking it. And why am I saying you? Because I did that, because Mandy did that. Like, you do that in the beginning. So one of the things we've done to help people is we have hundreds and hundreds of posts in a private community, and they're by category. There's like 20 categories and there's tons of posts. So what we recommend is become part of this private community and then just go in there. And it's super cool because you're going to look at them, and some you're going to love and some you're not going to love. How could you love them all? Like, we're different people, but you will find posts in there that are proven to start conversations, because that's your number one goal, is to start conversations. So it just lessens the time, and especially if you're not a creative person. I'm not as much of a creative person. I'm more of an analytical person. Mandy is massively creative and I love it. I love it. She makes my life so much easier. Okay, bullet point number 3 about talking about your profile, and we're doing great. We're right on time. Bullet point number 3 is you've got to start conversations daily. You've got to have private conversations. You have to. And oh my gosh, so many of our members in our private community and so many people we coach, it's like they just hit a cement wall. And it's like, but what do I say? At first you don't get it and it's hard, but then when you get it, it's almost silly. Like, it's like, oh my gosh, okay. Like, here's just a few, right? Like, so conversations to have daily. So we're posting on our profile daily, but then we're starting conversations. So when you're posting and you're starting conversations, and then Mandy's going to talk about her on the online community, you're doing different things on the platforms, which is helping your algorithms, which is helping you be seen more. So conversations to have daily, like the whole conversation or message of like, hey girl, I joined something amazing. Like, that's so, like, I don't know, 2020, and it's so dead and it's so cold. Like, don't be that person. Like, start off about life, like a birthday message, or, you know, there's that hidden spot on Facebook under your friends, suggested friends. Like, how beautiful is that? Like, such a place. Like, if you're like, how do I grow my friend count? Bam, right there. Every day you have 20 new suggested friends. When you add them as a new friend, you send a conversation. And I love just saying, hey, how cool, Facebook thinks we should be friends. I see you're friends with my sister. I see we went to the same high school. So you're sending that friend request, but you're also sending a message. You're having a conversation. You can comment on someone's Facebook post. This is having conversations daily. If you have an online community, if not, we want to get you having a rocking and rolling one. You can private message your community members. You can private message your Facebook friends. The whole thing that I'm saying here is you've got to have conversations. I love taking a 10-15 minute chunk, going, you know, to Facebook, scrolling through news feeds, seeing things that are happening. So I'll just like use this example. Like, I have a friend that is getting ready to go on an Alaskan cruise. So I just sent her a message and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited you've been on an Alaskan cruise. You know, have you gone before? How long are you going to be gone? Right? You just see something and then send a message. Like, it warms someone's heart. Like, I don't get very many messages like that. There's a lot of people out there in direct sales that are doing it wrong. You know what I get every single day? I get, hey girl, I have the best company on the face of the earth. Like, every day I get those kind of messages. Nobody likes that. I would love for someone to go, oh wow, you're in Ecuador. How long are you going to be there? Right? Or, oh, you got a new dog. Like, just be a human and have conversations. Now, the third thing, oops. Nope, wait, that was the third thing. So number 1, your profile. Number 2 was posting daily. Number 3 was to send a targeted private messages, all of these examples right there that you can have conversations. And then number 4, when you're out there on the social media platform, whenever you comment on someone else's page, which you should do. Like, I so many times I say I love, but it's true. I love it. I love going through newsfeed as fast as I can and commenting on other people's posts. But ask a question. It's 2 steps. You comment, you ask a question. You comment, you ask a question. Because when you just comment, it's like crickets. When you comment and you ask a question, there's a % of the time, about half of the time, they're going to circle back around and they're going to comment underneath. So think of this, we comment and we ask a question. Asking the question is what moves the conversation along. The purpose of moving your conversation along is to move it into a private message, chat, and then to be able to invite them to something. The something is whatever your company is doing. That's the something. And if your company is not doing something, you better move into our private group when we're done. So Mandy and I can really help you, because that's what you're doing. You're connecting, you're having a conversation, right? You're attracting people that will know, like, and trust you, and then you want to invite them somewhere. So holy heck, Mandy, that is everything for bullet point number 1 about your personal profile on social media, especially on Facebook. Now, Mandy's going to talk about your online community. So go, Mandy, go.
That was such great information, Michelle. And I wanted to add something really quickly. I have had many people tell me when we talk about sending all these targeted messages every day, I've had many people tell me that takes a lot of time. And it doesn't. It doesn't, first of all, doesn't take a lot of time. Second, it makes a dramatic difference. And to kind of prove that point, I did a little experiment where I was, of course, sending these private messages every single day, 7 days a week, all the time, not every other day, not 5 days a week, 7 days a week. I was sending messages, having conversations. And I took 2 weeks off from doing that and wanted to see what would happen. My Facebook got quiet, real quiet. Not as many comments, not as much interaction, not as much anything. So if you are having that gremlin in your head saying that's going to take you too much time, you need to tell yourself the time is worth it. And it's not going to take me too much time because I'm using those 15-minute chunks of time. So now let's talk about that private Facebook community. First, I have a question for you guys. Go ahead, drop in the chat roll. Do you have an online community currently? Some people have called this a VIP group in the past. Some people call it like a ladies' lounge or lots of different names. And before we get into the steps on how to really master your group, I'm going to tell you the difference between a VIP group and an online community. When I initially got into direct sales, I was taught to start a VIP group. And the VIP group was for people who do business with you. And it was a place where you talk only about your business. You talk about your business, your product, items you have for sale, things like that. What happens with this type of group is people only go to the group when they need to shop. Your group then is a store. And think of this, you don't go to the grocery store unless you need something. You don't go there to hang out. We want a community. A community is a place where people come to hang out, people come to socialize. You're making connections and building relationships. An online community is that place. In an online community, you are sharing information, you are building connections, you are getting to know people, you are developing relationships. Just like on your profile, you're building that like, know, trust factor. And it's a place where people want to go every day because they know that you have great information in there and you're not just trying to sell them. I'm sure many of you have experienced times when you've been in someone's private group and you're even engaged in there, but then you see them, maybe in real life, or you send them a message and they don't know who you are. That's because you are only selling. They're not connecting. So you were in a group where they were only selling. And maybe sometimes you were that person, you were on the flip side. And don't feel bad if you were, because most people have been there before. And it boils back to trusting and being with the right experts to help you. So how do you make a community? And I see, like Donna, you said, I want a community. How do you turn a group into a community? Well, first, and this might go a little fast, but just bear with me on this. If you have not started your online community yet, you don't have any private group, and I keep saying private because they need to be set at private. If you don't have a group yet, you're going to start one. You're going to think about who you want to connect with. You're going to think about that person, and we can help you with that for sure. If you already have a group and you're looking to turn it into a community or improve it or maximize it, which we all should be looking at all the time, trying to improve, you're just going to make some real simple changes. First, be you. Be authentically who you are. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't post something that you see another consultant posting because they get good interaction on it. Post what is authentic to you. And you heard a lot of great information from Michelle when she was talking about your profile. A lot of this applies to your online community as well. People want to know the real you. Show them the real you. Share your daily life. Share things about your family, your pets, your hobbies, your activities, the kind of coffee you like to drink, what you're having for lunch even. Be who you are, because who you are is what will attract people to your online community and what will develop lifelong relationships with them, not just one-time shoppers. So be authentically who you are. Second little bullet point here, post daily to create action. And I'm going to show you another little graphic. This is a real graphic where a person went from posting inconsistently to posting once or twice a day, every single day. Look at this green circled area. Look at the increase in engagement. The increase in comments alone, 467% increase, simply by being consistent. Now, when you're posting consistently, every single day, when I say consistently, it needs to be once a day at least. You're having a variety of posts. You might be sharing a little bit about your life today. You might be sharing something positive tomorrow. You are definitely looking to be helpful. So ask yourself, and you can even tell us in the comments here, what would be helpful to the people you're trying to connect with? What might they find helpful? And I can guarantee some of you right now are going, I don't know. You do know, because what you find helpful in your life is likely what they find helpful in their life. Because when you are authentically you, you are attracting people that are similar to you, that have similar struggles, similar roadblocks in life, similar habits, similar hobbies, which means what you find helpful might be something that they find helpful. You want to solve their problems. So as you think about what might be helpful for them, also think about what kind of solutions can I offer? What kind of problems can I help with? And do not get tunnel vision on what kind of problems or solutions your company or product can offer. We're looking at life in general. Being a busy mom of teenage boys who both have jobs for the first time this summer, I am finding myself in this place of being a chauffeur, because they're teenagers, but neither of them drive. I might have a solution to share with other moms on how to manage your schedule to get your kids to all of their activities, how to get your kids to manage their chores and life around their work schedule as well. None of that has anything to do with my product or company. but it would be very helpful to many of the people that are in my community. I would even suggest just drop a couple of problems you can help people with in daily life in the comments, in the chat roll right now, just to get your brain going on that. It could be helping with planning meals, how to save money on your groceries, how to get exercise in daily, anything, how to clean out your closets, how to get your kids to eat vegetables. The problem is not as important as the intent behind the post. Meaning, it doesn't matter what problem you're helping them solve. What matters is that you want to help them solve problems. And then, of course, in all of these posts, you're posting a variety of posts. You're solving problems. You're getting to know people. You're sharing motivation. You're being positive. You're having fun. In all of these posts, you are also having an open-ended question. That means a question that's not answered by yes or no. It could be a question like, what was your first job? When did your kids start working? What is your favorite show to binge on Netflix? Anything like that. It's open-ended. Open-ended requires people to answer with a few words, which boosts your algorithms, which also helps to build a conversation. So all of these posts, start thinking of them as your post is the initial invitation to a conversation. Their response is accepting your invitation for a conversation. And then you're going back and forth. So little bullet point 3 in this section, the back and forth. You have to respond and connect every day. So while you're posting every day, you also have to go in and respond to all the comments you get every day. And Michelle mentioned it before, our little 2-step engagement method. Really simple way to engage. You comment and you ask another question. So you're building a conversation very similar to what you would have face to face, over the phone, voice to voice. That's the kind of conversation we're looking for on social media as well. So every day, respond and connect. And then 4th bullet point here, invite and add new members daily. If you are not inviting people to your online community every day, if you're not adding new members every day, and of course we only add after we ask permission, you are not going to grow. Think about if Starbucks never told anyone, they had their first shop, their first store, and they only told their initial group of customers about it, and they didn't tell anyone else. They only relied on their customers to tell other people. I don't think that they would be as huge as they are now. So you have to tell people about your online community, because if you don't love it enough to tell people about it and invite people to it, why would your members love it enough to tell people about it? And overall, don't focus on your business in your online community. I know some of you might be going, that doesn't make sense. That's opposite of what I've been told, Mandy. I know. It is opposite of what you've been told. Just like Michelle said earlier, your business, your product is not the catch. You are the catch. Focus on your members. Focus on real life connections and relationships. How can you help them? What can you help them with? When you make this transition, you are going to see tremendous growth in your online community. And Michelle, I'm really excited for you to talk about your virtual party format because it is amazing.
Mandy, that was such good information, and I'm listening and I'm like, it almost seems too simple. Like I've heard, 100 times, we've done 100 of these, and I'm listening and I'm like, but it seems too simple, but it really is the answer. One of the things that I love that you always share is if your private group, your Facebook group, if you called a VIP group or you called a customer group, that means that person thinks I'm spending money, right? Where if it's an online community, then it's a place where you come and hang out. And it really was the biggest, change for me several years ago is I switched from a VIP or a customer group to an online community where people are in there daily, where before people only really were in there, I don't know, once in a while when they had to shop. So please, like, take that simple nugget right there. That is business changing. Saying that, I know in your mind, we do so many of these, there's only a few things you could be thinking. One of the things you are thinking is I get overwhelmed with what do I post daily? You don't ever get to think that again, because we have a place with hundreds of posts. Mandy and I also, just a couple of months ago, we inside about us, we get like frustrated sometimes when we can't help someone because we care so much and we want to help them. So we literally said, you know what, we're going to create a group right now, like on this day. 30 days later, we had 400 members. Like we just created a brand new online community. So if you want to be a little fly, that is like an online life community. We're going to give you our text number in a second. You can text us. Then we have the private Facebook group that is business, but we have both things for you. Like you cannot our time together because we're getting near the end without having your answers or a track, a place to get your answers. So the last nugget topic we're going to talk about is online events. I know not everyone does online events, but listen, you should be. Don't think of your grandma's Mary Kay party. Like that's not what we're talking about when we're thinking of an online event. Don't think of, something from years ago. We're talking about a 30-minute super fun happening, give away a gift or two. Here's what we're seeing from many of our members and the clients we work with is half of the people that show up are ordering online. Now, we don't ever like share our companies because we all have our own companies that we love, but I have a skincare company. And sometimes that's amazing to people to say, I do an online event, it's 30 minutes long, and half of the people, 5 out of 10 people are ordering skincare without touching it. So our last topic number 3 is having, whoops, my notes got messed up. Let's slide right on down there, is having a successful event. So you're either doing them or you're not. You either like them or you don't, and you're either open to it or you're not. Like that's where we are. Like you're doing them or you're not. You like them or you don't, or you're open to it or you're not. I would be open to it. Every single company out there, we can help you create one. Sometimes we hear people say, well, I have more services. You don't necessarily have products. It doesn't matter. So the biggest thing for an online event is it should be somewhere private. You can do a group, you can do an event. It's awesome because Mandy enjoys groups. I enjoy events, so you can do either or. It's going to be private. The first thing is there's got to be personal invitations. So whether you're doing the event or you have a host that's doing the event, there's got to be personal invitations. This is just an example of an event several months ago. You'll see, so bullet point number 2 under events is also there's got to be a theme. When you have a theme for the event, it allows you to invite the same people for different events. Like this one was like, take time for you. Basically, this person was showing people how to slow down and relax and, self-care. That's the theme of the event, take time for you. So you've got to have a theme. It could be like, there's so many of them. Like, I think of people like in Tupperware, like how to organize your pantry, how to save hundreds of dollars, on your groceries. I think of people in skincare, how to take 10 years off your face. I think of people in cosmetics, how to do a 5-minute makeover. Like it can't just be, Michelle's Mary Kay party, and see, I use all different kind of companies here, right? It can't be that, because if people ever experienced one and maybe it wasn't a good one in the past, they might go, ooh. But if it was, hey, we're going to show you, new summer cosmetic looks. So there's got to be a theme. As you see, take time for you. Okay. I also said that you've got to personally invite. And the numbers are hard to see again on the phone, but when you're doing it right is when more than half of the people that are added to the event show up. That's what the circle is we're saying half of the people that were added show up. Like, I was added to an event recently. I don't even remember the number, like 412 people were added. And 6 people had said yes. What that tells everyone, what that told me, you don't care about me. Like, I'm just a number. Like, you don't even care. Like, you didn't even take the time to go, hey, Michelle, I'm doing this event and it's going to be super fun. Can I add you? So if someone looks on your event and there's like 412 people and 6 people have said yes, they feel that way. If they look at the event and they're like, oh, not very many people are added. Oh, look at all those people that were going. It changes everything. It changes everything about the event. So a personal invitation, look at this under the topic 3 of a virtual party or an event. The number one thing we are telling you is you have to personally invite. Oh, and in this example, it's screaming big. There's 70% of the guests participated because they were personally invited. That's like the number one thing. So if you're doing it, like I do a lot of events myself without a hostess, or if you have a host, or if you've never heard this before, you can have a couple of hostess do one event. Super amazing. Years ago when we did house parties, you couldn't do that, but you can have several hostesses in one event, have a quick conversation with them about personally inviting people. It makes a world of difference. Okay, so that was bullet point number 1. And then bullet point number 2 was to have a themed event. When you have a themed event, your events might be exactly the same. But if you're doing one in the month of July, right, your events may be exactly the same. You have a different title for the month of July. You invite someone for whatever reason they can't. When you do one in August, it can be very similar. Just change 1 or 2 things about the event, have a different theme. You can re-invite people. It's no fun to invite the same people going, Michelle's having a Mary Kay party. Michelle's having a Mary Kay party. But if in July, I'm like, hey, you want to join us? We're going to teach people how to take 10 years off their life. Or do you want to join us? We're going to teach people a 5-minute summer makeover. So it can be very similar, but when you change the theme, you're able to re-invite people, and you're able, people are going to be interested in different things. At your virtual events, if you're not doing them, guys, you're missing out. I sometimes hear things or see things where people are like, online events are dead. They're not. What is long ones. Like even 2 years ago, an hour one might have been okay. We're having great success with 30 minutes. Like literally bullet point number 3 is this. You have a shell of your event. There's 8 things you're going to do in that event, right? You're going to properly invite. You're going to have an introduction as to who you are. You're going to state a date and time that you're going to go live with an event. You're going to put in there what you love about what you're doing, right? So it's just these bullet points. Like it's so easy. It's the shell. Like the shell is the same, and you fill in your company and you fill in your information. There's got to be a time that you're actually going live so they can see you and they connect with you. Events used to be able to be a lot longer. Shorter's better, right? You're going to have it maybe 2 or 3 days. Longer does nothing at all. Longer is more painful. It gets lost. People can't find it. So the event itself is shorter. The time you have it open is shorter. And I'll tell you, I wish we had time to go into this right now. We just don't, right? Because if we make this too long, you don't stay on. We understand, remember I told you I'm very numbers oriented. There is what is called a 4-step close. So you never have to chase someone down again. So there's something that you can do at the end of the event where let's say you have 12 people attend or you have 20 people attend, or you have 40 people attend, you will know where every single person stands and you never have to chase people down ever again. That tip right there is enough for you to make sure you continue on with us into our private group that we're going to tell you about in a second. So Mandy, I want to share so much more, but I'm looking at the time and our time's up. Mandy, you're going to kind of, wrap this up. You're going to, share some, more great tidbits, and then we're going to tell people how they can get into our private online community.
It is so easy for us to want to keep sharing and keep sharing and keep sharing because there's so much great information. And I will tell you, when I learned this 4-step close, it changed online events for me entirely. I went from not liking them to loving them. And I was a home party person that did 15 in-home shows a month. And the 4-step close makes those virtual events so fun, so easy, that I love doing them. But I'm not going to keep talking about it.
If you I know there are some people watching this from the old school. Like, I know we look so young, but it's still the old school. Like, before social media, if you were going to be a top leader in your company, like, we did 12, 15 home parties. Like, I look back, I don't even know how I survived, how we did that. Where 4 to 6 online events in a month is generating the same kind of activity.
Yeah.
Like, it's pure joy.
It is, especially for many of us who start these companies to spend more time with our families. We can
Yes.
actually do that by working our businesses on social media. So it's about time to wrap this up, you guys. Today, you've joined us, you've spent your time with us. We know your time is valuable. And some things that we want to make sure you take away from us today. On social media, when you're looking to grow your business on social media, you have to provide value outside of your product or service. You can't just be a salesperson or a rep of a certain company. You have to be you. You have to have a serving heart. You have to want to help people. And you have to have that goal of connecting with people, having people want to connect with you, having those conversations all the time, not just when they want to shop. And that entirely comes from providing value outside of your product or service. Having those fun life hacks, having those real life shares that you can post about. Like those of you that go on vacation, share about your vacation, share about your pets. People like to see that. That's what makes people feel like they are your friend and not just your customer. That's what you're looking for, real relationships. Do you have amazing strategies to get your kids to clean up after themselves? Do you have a great place to go take a hike that you love going to? It's your favorite place. Do you have a secret little beach spot you like to go visit? Share those things. The more information and value you share with people, the more you're going to connect with people. Michelle, what do you want people to take away from our time today?
Oh my gosh, I want them to take away from our time today that they can do this, that, if they've struggled for a while, like, it's just because you didn't have the right information. Like, you absolutely can do this. If you love your company, you love your products or services, there are millions. I know that number scares people, but there are millions of people. Like, just in the United States of America, there are 330 million people. Imagine if you only had 1,000 of them in your online community. Like, that would be life and business changing for you. Like, I know, as a mom, as a wife, as a business owner, in that circle, no one ever is saying you can do this. Like, so that could be you too, right? Like, we just kind of put our heads down and move along. Like, I want to be the person that I'm stopping and saying, you can do this. Any struggle you've had, we've had it. Any frustration you've had, we've had it, and we've figured it out. Like, we figured this out before COVID. A lot of people were kind of forced to learn things, but Mandy and I were rocking and rolling with social media, before COVID. And then, man, COVID hit and it really changed things for a lot of people. We've just had years and years of success, and we're just real, like, I like to think of myself as just, a simple girl. I live in Montana because of direct sales. I'm spending the summer, in Ecuador, and you can do this. And I know you might not have heard that in a long time. I'm here to tell you, don't let any negative self-talk, or maybe even, like, I had some people be snotty, in my beginning of direct sales, literally be snotty to me. And I'm just thankful back then I had people around me saying, Michelle, you could do this, because I quit several times, and then I came back and I quit and I got frustrated and I came back, and then it finally clicked. And I know that God put me and Mandy on this planet to help you.
Yes, and that's so relatable because so many of us have been in that situation. And, Michelle, you brought up that we've been doing this social media direct selling since pre-COVID, but I want to touch on the fact that that time frame during the COVID quarantines and things like that really changed how most humans look at employment and income and jobs and our industry. People are no longer wanting to live by that 9 to 5 mindset, that mindset where you have to ask and hopefully you can get the day off. No, people are looking at that entrepreneur mindset. They are looking to do business more with people that they know. They're wanting to support small business. They're pulling away from that corporate environment, whether it's as an employee or a consumer. Done are the days of living your life around your job. And instead, people are looking to create a job that can work, create a stream of income that can work around the life they're looking for. And we're here to help you with that. Now, I want you guys to know, if you decided to become a tax accountant, just a random example, you wouldn't just say, all right, I'm going to be a tax accountant and I'm going to start doing that now, and I'll figure it out on my own as I go. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't decide to be a hairstylist and just figure it out on your own as you go. You would look for experts. You would look for guidance. You would look for mentors. Michelle and I are here to be that for you. We have the support for you. We have the training for you. And that answer really is Social Media Lifeline, our private community. It really is simply pennies a day where you can join, get this great information, get over 600 posts that you can use on your social media, get support from us, get connection with us, and really design that life and business the way that you want it to be. We know that you can do it. We believe in you. It's time to believe in yourself and commit to yourself. Commit to
That darn
growing.
door again. Sorry, guys. Right when you're being real, is that loud, Mandy? Do you hear that? Is that so loud?
I didn't hear it at all.
Okay, then I'm just
So-
forward. I'm not going to say anything again. I apologize for interrupting you, but yes, we are the people to help. So Mandy, tell them how. Okay, can I just say the price? Because, like, I'm dying inside here.
Go ahead.
So literally $19.97 a month. We have a private online community. You pay $19.97 a month. What you get is a training once a week. So you get 4 trainings a month. Amazing. All of the trainings are in there, organized by subject. All of the posts are organized in there by subject. So when you decide to join Social Media Lifeline, like right now, and you get in there, and let's say your thing is you want to know about growing your online community. I think, like, there's tons of trainings in there, and all of them have like a subject and a paragraph talking about it. You're wasting no time. Like you're wasting no time. If you want to know about online communities, you want to know about your profile, if you want to know about doing events, if you want to know about like real marketing on social media, it's $19.97 a month. Now, Mandy posted up the link. When you click on that, you're going to put your information in there and you're going to join and you're going to love it and you're going to stay. Everybody stays. It's so funny. Like nobody leaves, everybody stays. But if for some reason you're the person, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't like it, then you just cancel, no strings attached. In the beginning, we said we are sick and tired of people in direct sales doing some complimentary free training, and then at the end, taking $500, $1,000 from you. No, we come into that group once a week and do a topic training. It's saved in the group. We love when you're on live, but if not, it's saved in there for you to watch. Mandy, what else would you say? Oh, and then, tell them the gift we have for them.
Oh, yes, the gift. So anyone who joins Social Media Lifeline today is going to get a complimentary social media audit from one of us. That's where Michelle mentioned it earlier. That's where we go look at your profile and get 10 easy changes that you can make right now that will change the effect your profile has on your business and your connections. And we don't just look at it and then write them down and send you a text message. Nope, we're going to hop on the phone. We're going to discuss it and share and really guide you on that, because our goal is for you to get the growth you're looking for and for it to be simple. We want to take the questions out of it. We want to take the struggles out of it. We want to help you. And you can text us. I posted the link. When you're ready to join Social Media Lifeline, the link is posted. You'll also get an email. But also write down our phone number: 323-266-9972. I'm going to say it again: 323-266-9972. And the reason why I'm telling you to write this down is because we want you to text us. If you have questions, if you need extra support, if you just want some answers or some additional help, text us. We are here to do that for you. Again, if you didn't get it written down already, 323-266-9972. And if you did not get the email with your link to join Social Media Lifeline, text us with your name and say, I need the link to join you. And we'll send it right over.
Mandy, you were so amazing today. I love being halfway around the world and doing what we do weekly, right? This is what we do.
Yes.
Is we help people in our industry that just really want real humans out here living day-to-day struggles, that have figured it out and simplified it. Guys, we can't wait to see you on the inside. If you had to check out and you check back in, you're going to get an email in a little bit with the replay. And then, kind of crazy, we do many of these. So if you have team members, like if you're someone that's already recruiting and rocking and rolling, it'd be a great thing to share us with your team members, because we're the real deal, and everyone can afford $19.97 a month. So we can help your team members, we can help you, which grows your whole organization. Bye, everyone.
Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.